One's me.
I used to think revenge was a dish best served cold. Then I found out it means getting back at someone. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
Oh,
gang. Why you don't have the fucking?
I do. It should have worked, but it's not working.
Oh, it's not working. Anyways, we're here, gang. You already know what it is. You guys missed the horn sound. Something's going on.
I gotta turn it on and off again.
I will say, right before we started, we were looking at the nice new monitor we have up here, new to us, but and we can see everything going on, and we can see stuff that pops up. I know I'm getting way off fucking topic here, but we were discussing that when we see ourselves on the screen and the little like 4G audio thing disappears, we will know that we're live. Just so happens that the fucking horn didn't work and I wasn't looking at the TV like we had just discussed. So any motherfucking way. Gang, baby. I'm Styles the Prophet.
Yeah, I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
Together we're the Basement Weirdos, and this is the 4G Audio Podcast. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Happy Friday. Maybe you guys notice I don't have sunglasses on. It makes me feel really weird, actually. It's the lights, I think, is the lights. Like, I want to pull my hat down and stuff, kind of. Like, it's the lights, I think. And it's not even, like, too bright. It's not even that.
Bright.
It's just that I'm, like, I think
You're
I'm
not
just
used
to having the sunglasses on when the lights are on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel awkward. I feel kind of weird. I shouldn't say awkward. I can tell that it's not there. It's like playing hockey without a jockey. Like, oh my God. Like, that's all you think about the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, shit. So I actually have a funny story though that happened to me last week on the way to the podcast. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to tell this story on the podcast. And then I forgot.
You didn't tell it last week.
No, yeah. And I feel like had I even remembered to tell the story, I don't think we would have had time for it. There was a lot of talking going on.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so I forgot to tell the story. So I have this story. We were on the way here. Shout out to my guy Jamie, Essential J.
Essential J.
He was on one of our 420 episodes. I think he was actually on our
first
episode too. But shout out to him. So I asked him if I could borrow his car, and he was like, "You can borrow my car if I come with you." And he doesn't trust me. He's got to babysit me. And I'm not saying like, "Oh, fuck him, he has to babysit me." I'm saying like, yes, like I would babysit myself.
It's always
too.
good to have a wingman.
Yeah, but no. So he's like, "Yeah, I'll come with you, whatever." So we go to the liquor store in Arnprior, and we go in, and I wasn't even gonna go in. Then I was like, "Oh, you know what?" I'm like, "I'll grab like couple little drinks or whatever, right?"
Yeah.
And then, like some to share at the studio and stuff. Basically I'm just trying to explain that I didn't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm getting way off topic like I always do, but so then I go and so earlier that day I had drank a twisted tea, and I was hanging out with Jamie, and then he had left. They dropped me off at home, and he went to go have dinner and stuff.
Right.
I went home, and I was like, "Oh man, my fucking stomach hurts and shit." And like, the funny thing is, I'm taking like a long way to tell this story, but because this doesn't even it's not even important to the story, but it's kind of a funny like side note along the story. So I'm like, "Oh man, my fucking stomach hurts like so bad." I'm like, "Oh man," so I had a couple deuces while I was at home.
Yeah.
And like, man, like bad, like my stomach was hurting so bad. Like it was like I swallowed fire, like lava or whatever. You can drink lava, but only once. But anyway, so I'm like, oh man, like what the hell's wrong with me? Like, yeah, then I feel fine. I'm like, yeah, cool. So we get in the car, we're driving to Ottawa. Like he comes back and whatever, right? So we're driving to Ottawa. Like, oh man, I'm like, my stomach's starting to hurt again. I'm like what the fuck? Like, I don't know what it is, man. I'm like, something I ate or whatever. So now we're in the liquor store. And on the way into the liquor store, we're arguing. Well, not arguing, but we're like bickering about what's better, the Hey Y'alls or the Twisted Teas. And
Hey Y'alls?
Hey Y'all,
I
yeah.
don't know if I've had one of those.
No, I think I was drinking them last weekend. I think I might have had a couple here.
Yeah, you
maybe.
usually buy it.
Okay, yeah.
But
you usually have a couple
empties
of those.
are probably still here.
Yeah, it's like a picture of like a truck, I think, like an old school truck, and it's like supposed to be like South American, like southern Americas, I
Right.
guess.
I know what you're saying.
But yeah, you
Texas.
know what I mean. Yeah, like Texas shit.
Alabama.
Hey y'all, you know. But it's actually from Vancouver. But so here's the thing: is Twisted Teas and Hayalls you can buy at the beer store or the liquor store. But if you buy them at the beer store, it's a malt beverage, and if you buy
Right.
them at the liquor store, it's a vodka beverage.
No way.
It even says like on the thing, yeah.
Are they
And
actually the same thing, just named differently, or they're actually two?
they're actually different. They taste
Yeah.
different because like
Oh yeah.
Cause the Hayalls, I remember being like, oh man, I fucking love these. Like, buddy gave me one. I'm like, I love that. Yeah, it's awesome. And then I got them at the beer store, and I was like, ew. I must have been really drunk whenever I drank
Yeah,
these, you
eh?
know. But it was, I just found this out last week. I'm like, I've heard people say that, but I'm like, it's all in your head, man. But
Yeah.
then he said that to me, and I got them, and it actually said vodka drink on them. So I was like, okay.
Crazy.
But no, so we're walking in the liquor store, we're talking about what's better, you know, and I'm like, oh, I like the Hayalls because they taste like tea, you know, like whatever.
Right.
The other ones are like sugary and stuff. And so we go into the you know how they have the cooler part, we go in there,
Yeah.
and fucking he's like, see, he's like, they only have Hayalls in here. He's like, they don't put the good ones in here, they don't put the Twisted Teas in
Yeah.
here. He's like, fuck that, whatever. So he goes out, and we go out into the aisle, and he's like picking up the Twisted Teas, the warm Twisted Teas.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, fuck this, whatever. He's like, they want to put these in the cooler, whatever. I'm like, man, Twisted Teas suck. I'm like, it's all about the Hayalls.
Yeah.
He goes, no, he's the Twisted Tea's the best, whatever. And I was walking away from him to go back into the cooler to get some Hayalls, and I'm like, no, man. I'm like, that. I think that's why I shit my pants earlier. And then I turn around and I take another couple steps, and there's like an old lady that works there standing there. I'm like,
Heard the whole thing.
and I walk into the fucking the cooler, and then like the cooler door opens like this, and there's this guy walking out, this ginger lad, and he just looks up at me and goes, he's like, what's that about you shitting your pants or something like that? I'm like, oh my god, like,
The whole
fuck.
store heard.
I guess I said it a little loud. I'm
Yeah.
like, shit. So and I did not shit my pants. That's just what I say.
Just a figure of
Yeah.
That's how I say it, yeah.
Right.
So then I come back out, and now at this point now Jamie has gotten to the front of the store, and he's like at the cash. There's only one cash open, and then like they'll usually form a line in the aisles or whatever.
Yeah.
So Buddy walks up, the guy that was just in the cooler, the ginger lad, and he walks up to the end of the aisle, and I walk up behind him, and at the same time two people walk up into the next aisle, like as if they're starting a line over there.
Right.
And he turns and looks at them, and he turns and looks at me, and he goes, sorry, man. He's like, I think I led you the wrong way. And
Yeah.
I look at the other guy, and they're like looking like, oh, like who's gonna go? You know, like they're
Right.
kind of looking, and I'm like, rock, paper, scissors, let's go. And like,
Yeah,
I
eh?
swear to God, man, they didn't like. If you were like, oh, let's do rock, paper, scissors, I'd be like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, go.
Right.
You know, and we would establish some fucking
The
ground
rules.
rules and shit. Yeah. These guys literally just turned like they knew each other. They just turned, they're like,
Like they were prepared for this.
yeah,
To go
and I was
down.
just like, oh, rock, paper, scissors. And like I said, they just turned and they're like,
Hash
doing it.
out.
And the fucking guy in front of me wins. He's like, oh, yeah, fucking right. Yeah. I was like, good job.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
fucking right. Yeah. He turns around. He goes, yeah. He's like, I don't want to brag or anything, but he goes, I got the trophy at home. And I laugh as if like, you know, he made a good joke, and he stops and goes, I actually have a trophy at home.
No way.
Like as if he's sort of like disappointed in himself.
Mhm.
Like, I actually have a trophy at home. So then he goes, the other guy goes. I'm like, you earned it, man. So he goes,
Never
whatever.
be ashamed of your rock paper scissors
Yeah.
trophy.
So then I'm fucking standing at the cash, and I turn and look, and this guy's like leaving. He's like, hey, see you later, man. And I'm like, yeah, see you, man. Good game.
Good game. Good game. Good game.
But it was so funny because, like I said, it was just so like natural for them. They just turned around and were like, it wasn't even like, oh,
Right.
do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Like, should we do it? Or like, oh, like 1, 2, 3, go. Or like, how we doing it? It was
just
just
like a normal thing that happens.
yeah, let's go. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, as if it happens every day. They're just like, yeah,
That was
go.
at the Empire LCB.
Yeah, I was like,
That should be like a trend, you know?
Yeah, I
like,
was gonna say.
try to find like random people and put them in a precarious situation and be like, okay, rock, paper, scissors.
Hell
for it."
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good idea. You know how you put the dollar bill on the fishing line? You don't do the fishing line. You just put $100 in the middle of Walmart, and you stand like
Oh,
somewhere
shit.
near it, and then like, I mean, I guess you would have to hope that two people found it at the same time.
Yeah.
Or it means like, if whoever finds it, it'd be like, yo, I like a rock, paper,
Well-
scissors.
well,
for you.
shit.
Yeah, yeah, true
This,
that,
this
yeah.
leads us to another story. We've done this.
What?
Parliament Hill, 420.
Oh, with
The
The three of
oh.
us have done that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
But I
They
mean,
didn't
like-
even notice.
I mean, like even like the money's different, I think, but like maybe like a prize or something. like, you know, like leave like a fucking
Well,
like
yeah,
something
if it's
out.
100, right? So
I
like,
guess,
you stick
yeah.
100 somewhere, right? And then you wait for someone to find it, or like,
Hopefully 2 people find it and they battle. Give them
Yeah.
pillows or something.
Yeah.
Like pillow fight.
like
Yeah.
I mean, if it was just you, you know, and it was just another person that found it, and you rock paper scissors, like if they win,
Yeah.
they keep it.
yeah,
You win, you're like, all right, on to the next
yeah.
challenger. Content, baby.
That's a good idea.
Not your
though,
day to day,
yeah.
bud.
Yeah. Fuck,
Move
good
along
idea.
now.
There's that one dude though. He goes. This is kind of like not really the same, but he goes and he asks people for help, and then if they like offer to help him or whatever, he gives them money.
Rewards them.
Yeah. So like the one lady, she's like in a fucking like one of those like scooter things, like the handicap scooter things, and she's like, he was like, he had a ham or something like that for Thanksgiving, and he was like, oh, can I get like couple bucks to go towards this ham or whatever. I don't have any money. And she's like, oh yeah. And she pulled out money. And he's like, oh, here you go. And he gave her $500.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like,
right.
She's like,
Actually,
what?
Yeah, I've seen a couple cool. I saw one like that recently, but it was this dude. He had like a bunch of flowers in front of him, and,
Oh,
and he had
yeah.
a sign. He was blindfolded
I
too,
think that
right?
dude's from Toronto. I'm not 100%
Yeah, eh?
sure, but I think he's from Toronto.
That concept's pretty cool, right? Because he like blindfolds himself, so it's like unconditional love he's giving out, right? Like
Yeah.
someone will come and like take a rose, and
Well, see, at first I was like, why the fuck is he blindfolded? I'm like, that's kind of weird.
yeah,
Or not, I shouldn't say weird. It seems like a moot thing. Like,
Right.
maybe
Yeah,
that's a
it's
bad way to say it.
irrelevant,
But
like-
yeah, exactly. It seems irrelevant. Like,
yeah,
no matter if you're fucking, but then I realized, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I probably wouldn't walk up to him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because it's like, hey, like,
There's
because a lot of these
Yeah.
people are
there, you
saying,
can,
yeah,
like-
and a lot of people are saying things to him, like oh, like, you know, I
they
fucking,
confide in him.
yeah, exactly, yeah, and then those things probably wouldn't happen if he was
Yeah.
not blindfolded,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's almost like confessing your sins in a
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
right? But it's more just
Well, what's the word you said? Unconditional. Like, yeah,
unconditional
yeah.
love, yeah, because
Yeah.
he can't see you, so he like I'm not saying he's racist, but you couldn't be
There would
judged.
be no judgment.
Judgment.
Yeah,
you
that's-
can be
yeah.
judged on anything, right? And so he's just giving you his love.
Yeah, no, I like that shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, man, but it might actually be the same guy that's doing the giving away the money if the
Yeah,
people help them.
Could be.
If not, they look kind of alike. But on that note too, though, on the fucking giving shit out and stuff like that, we got our guy James is on
Yeah,
the show
that's
from
right.
from Pure Love Foundation,
Pure Love Foundation.
and
right.
he, I don't know if it's still going on, but he was doing like a drive for like sleeping bags or something.
yeah,
winter clothes or
winter
something.
clothes, yeah, winter
Um,
coats and stuff.
You can find him on YouTube.
Maybe
Pure
he'll
Love
jump in the
Foundation.
chat too.
Oh yeah, that's right. He has been in the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just thought on that tip, he's doing that. He has a GoFundMe if anybody wants to donate. And then he does little things. If you watch his videos and stuff, he does little things every once in a while. Like he did a raffle for like a quilt, and
yeah.
We still have to make means to collaborate with him. On
yeah,
something.
for sure,
We
Yeah.
talked about that when he was on the.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
yeah. Well, I'd like to go down with him sometime and do that. Like he gives away the pizza and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and like the nutrition bags
Yeah.
and stuff. So I was thinking of going down and doing that with him, like pitch on the pizzas or like buy extra pizzas or some shit, you
For
know.
sure.
Make him rock paper scissors for it.
Oh yeah, man.
That'd be good content, man. Like you could make a whole like you could edit a whole video together just going up to everybody doing that,
Oh, for
you know, in
sure.
one night. Yeah.
For sure.
Or even we thought of this before too. I believe was like trivia or something, or like maybe not exactly trivia, but like a bunch of different shit. Like you go up to people and just be like, "Hey, fucking $5. Like who is the first fucking prime minister
Yeah,
of Canada?" You
right,
know, it's like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're here. You want to keep going?" Like you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that'd be cool too. Like, I actually thought of an idea a long time ago, and the more, like, in the last month or so, like, I've been thinking about it a lot, and it won't work because like COVID has made it worse now. But I was thinking a long time ago, like, drive by people standing at the fucking like I was almost gonna say the boat launch, fuck,
yeah.
the bus stop, and then roll up on them and just say, "Hey, like, where are you going?" And be like, you know, like we're filming a video and shit, but like, where are you going? Oh, I'm going fucking wherever. Like, do you want us to drive you or whatever? And then we'll like interview you or whatever, right?
Yeah, right.
And then like, you know, I only say that to say that like they would know that we're not like fucking just some weirdos. We're like doing some kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, right.
And then drive them and just like get their story or just get like whatever,
Yeah.
like interview them and shit. And then fucking that'd be it really. But it'd be
It's
cool.
content, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
it.
it's anything, right? Like that's the thing about like the internet these days is like you literally can come up with any concept as long as
That's
it's like
it.
you like make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can do
yeah.
anything, and like
Yeah,
there's always gonna be a niche of people that will start watching that content, and then
for sure.
hopefully it like goes viral or whatever, and
Yeah.
you start the new trend. But yeah, like I mean, like anything can be content.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think it'd be
anything.
hilarious. Like you say, just walking through Walmart and like
Yeah,
finding people to play rock paper scissors. with.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be
hilarious. Like that'd
Yeah.
be the greatest thing ever.
and I find that kind of content just hits more nowadays after the whole pandemic too. You know, especially the guy in the blindfold. It's like, for all you know, that I saw a lady in the one video, but maybe she hasn't even hugged like family members in like 2 years. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
someone's like putting themselves out there for just like support and things like that, you know. So I find it goes a lot farther nowadays for sure, just to try and connect with people on a deeper level, because we've been so used to like stay away.
It's gonna be interesting.
Lately.
Like it's like the dichotomy. Like you say, like we do need more like in person, like
Connections
yeah, exactly,
or
exactly.
interactions.
That's the
Yeah,
perfect word, connections. But now like we're going towards this more
opposite, man. like-
exactly the opposite. It's like
Yeah.
more digital, like virtual
Yeah.
everything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
nobody can like hug or touch or shake hands.
meet me
or-
on the metaverse,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be. soon.
Yeah,
Man,
exactly,
legit.
man.
My dad always said, like, ever since I was young and shit, like, the like downfall of the world is gonna be like communication and travel,
Right.
and like I
Yeah.
was like, I don't
The
really see that,
convenience
you know?
of it all, man.
And then like over the years, like think about it, I'm like, I still don't see it, you know. But now I'm like, it's happening.
Yeah.
Like shit.
It's crazy how much things I think personally things are gonna change in like
oh man,
the
the
next 10 years
the-
are gonna be like
the world
night
our
and day.
children will know is gonna be so far different
Oh, for
from
sure.
like what we knew after our parents. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like our parents probably thought the same, but I feel like it's light years. Like we are in the future now. Like I know that sounds corny to say, but the
It's true,
future's
though,
now,
Like,
man.
if
Like,
you think about like the internet, literally changed
Everything, man.
about how we do everything.
Yeah.
Like how we communicate, how we
Everything.
do business,
spend money. Yeah.
everything. Like
spend-
it literally
or,
has
yeah,
gotten
pay
into
bills,
every
everything.
aspect of every part of our lives.
Mhm.
But you know what's funny is the way that the internet is now is like kind of how the internet started originally,
Right.
was how you could like watch stuff like lives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Watch it and comment on it and stuff, right? And that's how like the internet was there, and then they were like, go.
Yeah, it took a
But
while.
what do you
catch
do
on.
with it, you know?
Right.
Or like what are we
Well-
going to use it for? But then that's what ended up making the internet like get to that next step of like to like the longevity or whatever. Like
Yeah.
at first, like if this wouldn't have happened, or some people say if this wouldn't have happened, that the internet wouldn't have become the big thing that it is. And what it was like I said, you go on and watch a screen where it's live and you'd see like people just doing whatever, living their life. And then everyone would be in the chat commenting and
Yeah.
shit. And that was the fucking thing. And like these people would feed off of that. Like, oh, you see what they said in the chat?
Yeah, yeah.
Like whatever. But now it's like full circle. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah. It's just
it's like made for that.
yeah, exactly. It's just been that aspect of it has been improved and built on.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now it's like
It's so easy now too, right? Like the early days of the internet was like you could send an email or like a text or like whatever, like or a few pictures or whatever.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not like you could stream high quality video and like
No,
live
yeah.
shit from your phone. You know, like
No,
you can do now,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
So like
They had some fucking crazy setup. Like,
yeah, or like you just didn't have the ability to do that at all.
well,
Like, you
because
know,
Well,
the
yeah, but-
speed of
well,
it all, right?
So
what
it
I mean,
just
like the
wasn't
people
possible.
that were doing it, you know?
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
for them, like
yeah.
you needed like
'Cause,
say,
like,
a whole room full of computers.
they
to,
probably
like, make it
even
work.
There's
had
that-
these ideas, but just, you know what I mean, the internet wasn't that advanced yet, you know.
It's just the technology
were
had
doing-
to catch up, and like
Yeah,
so now like you say, it started off with text and then pictures and then videos,
right. And
And
it
now
take
it's-
forever to send a photo.
Yeah,
Like,
and now it's going from like that video or live streaming, like
yeah,
filming yourself, to doing
in the now.
and now it's gonna be like augmented reality,
Yeah.
and, like virtual reality and shit
Yeah,
like that. Like
put
the
this
metaverse,
headset on and fucking.
put yourself inside the internet.
Yeah,
But yeah, in that fucking, there's a documentary. It's called like "We All Live Here" or like "We Live on the Internet" or something.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what it was all about. Was how like these people like started doing that shit, like to have like a stream and everyone would comment on it.
Right.
And they ended up fucking going to this guy. The guy who like he was like the pioneer and all this shit.
Okay.
Like not of the internet, but of the like
Of just
doing
content
these like
create-
live shit. like,
Right.
yeah. And so he went and he rented out a fucking parking garage. Then he went and got a bunch of people that just like were basically they signed their life away for a year.
Right.
And so he promised to like feed them and like, whatever, they had booze and drugs and whatever they wanted.
Right.
But
Right.
they had all these sea cans underneath the fucking like in the parking garage.
Okay.
And each like there'd be two stacked up, and then each one was like I would have one, and then like you would have one.
Oh no
And
way.
they'd all be like our bunk or
Your
whatever,
little-
right? And
Yeah.
then at the end, like so you like say like this is it. You'd be like looking, and they'd be like you up here, Jonesy's down here, and then
Right.
like the next one over here, like I'm up there, and like whatever,
Yeah,
and so on and so forth. But whenever you're inside and you go to the end of it, it's all like a big opening. There's a TV that like pulls around in front of you, and it's got a camera on it.
Oh yeah.
So you can go through the channels and talk to other people
in the
in
sea
the
cans.
thing. But the other thing is the
That's
people
wild.
watching on the internet, they can click through the cameras and they
Right.
can watch your fucking conversation with the guy down the road or
Right.
down the fucking way.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had fucking the toilets were all in the middle of the room, and there's
Yeah.
like cameras shining down on them and
That's-
shit.
That's
Okay.
not too far.
Oh man! But then after that, they ended up fucking. The guy met a girl there, and they got married and shit. And he ended up. They like fitted their whole house with like cameras and like audio equipment and shit,
Just
'Cause
get
it
so
was
they could
new
do this.
and that
But
was-
they
yeah.
fucking. They had it so detailed that there was a fucking camera in the bottom of the toilet looking up.
No way.
Yeah, like you could watch anything you wanted,
Yeah.
man. But then they ended up going bad because like they were like feeding off of like they'd get in a fight or whatever,
Yeah.
and like they'd like make it escalate to this point where that like the comments and shit blow up,
Yeah.
and then like it got to the point where he was like hitting her and shit, and then they would both go and like run to their computer to watch and see like everyone
reactions.
talking and stuff,
Right,
you know.
yeah. Because that's exactly what entertainment is driven off of. Is
Well, yeah.
True,
and
even,
like I said, that's where
TikTok
it
is like a
started.
small version
Yeah.
of that, right? Like people
Yeah.
would do the dumbest shit
Yeah.
and like, or even just fake the most outrageous shit just to
Yeah,
get
for sure.
views, you know?
And when things
I
are,
hate
are
the
first
fakes,
starting
man.
out too, that's where the excitement is like, you know what I mean? It's like almost like you're a child again, finding out about this thing. You like throw yourself at it and you become like consumed by it almost. Especially
Yeah.
so like if you're involved with the internet as it was coming out, you know what I mean? You're probably just like, well, exactly what you just said, like throw yourself at it, you know what I mean? Like
Look, I
Oh,
forget
yeah.
the guy's name. Jason
consumed by
Calacanis.
it.
Jason Calacanis. Yeah, he was one of the .com kids
Mm.
that was like in the early days, like invented the internet or whatever. But he was a pro poker player, so I would always see him playing poker and shit. But I didn't know who the fuck he was. He was just crazy rich pro poker player to me.
Right.
Right.
But then I saw that documentary and they were dropping his name. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I wonder if that's the same guy. And they showed a picture of him and he looks like a weirdo. So
Yeah.
same dude.
Same dude.
Yeah, same guy. So you guys want to smoke this joint? Or?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Fucking right. Just fucking christen this bitch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume you probably already have christened it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time on live fucking
The 4G
television.
Yeah.
4G audio podcast. We back, man. We are in the basement smoking a joint. We back.
Shit, man. Yeah.
Feels good.
Life is good.
Life is good. No complaints here.
Love you. Fucking right. That's awesome. And it tastes really good.
What's it
But
now?
yeah, I was gonna say.
It's just Pink Reaper.
Pink Reaper.
I'd like to lie to you and tell you that it came from one of our sponsors, but it did not.
Yeah.
However, I will plug them.
Always, man.
I think it's pronounced Madashk. It's spelt Madashk. So like Madashk. But I believe it's pronounced Madashk. In Pikwakanagan, Ontario, just up the road from our sponsor at Greengrass Oasis. But no, my buddy owns the shop. We stopped in.
Oh, yeah.
Found that he had some nice treats for the boys.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Oh wait, you know what?
What's going
Gotta
on?
go. It's that important.
Yeah.
Are you looking for the?
Yeah.
Do we need it though?
Well, the thing is, I was gonna pass it to you because that's the left.
Right. Okay. I see.
And then
Definitely.
I guess now I'm not gonna need it. Maybe you need it. To pass
Pull it out.
What? Yeah.
Pull it out. This is a fan favorite on the 4G
For
Auto
sure,
podcast.
for sure. I remember seeing it recently, actually. You got it?
Does taste nice. Oh yeah, shout out to everybody tuning in right now though. Always love for Barhead. Happy Friday, everybody. Hit that red button if you're new here.
Do it now.
I'll even let you do the honors. Do the honors. Pass
Use,
it to
use
this
the
guy.
Oh.
thing that you just put all the effort into getting.
I see what's going on.
Oh yeah. There it is.
Dun-dun-dun.
Now you know.
Now we're fully back in business.
Damn right,
Right.
man. That's awesome.
Gang, gang, baby.
I think it was about a year ago we had our friends from Pekwakanagan on here, yeah? Was it our holiday episode?
It was,
Yeah, it was.
because that's when they gave us the giant.
That giant
fucking
joint.
Yeah.
Want to get some like epoxy resin stuff
Yeah.
and put the rest of that joint into a
You don't still have it, dude.
clear thing. Yeah.
Yeah, eh?
Right.
On there.
Crazy. Yeah, check it out. You got Leo in the comments.
Don't buy a flipping car. What's PTBO? Peterborough?
Yeah, it must be Peepo. PT Bo. Oh yeah, my bad. He's about to sneak a toke off
That's
that.
gang, gang.
It's the pastor's token.
Yeah.
I also must mention too, we were supposed to have a guest tonight, and he did not show up. Well, no, I shouldn't say he didn't show up. He told us he was not going to come in. But shout out to our guy
Yeah, for sure.
KG at Renfrew Milanos. He
Yeah.
great excuse.
He owns a business.
He's running a business.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how that goes. But if you're in the Renfrew area, you should order up some fucking Milanos and put them to work.
Yeah, give him an excuse not to be here.
Yeah. He actually I got food there a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, and like, literally, like, whenever I say this, I'm not saying it as a bad thing. Like, treated me like a child, kind of, and like I said, not in a bad way. He like catered to me
Oh yeah.
in the sense of like, they have like the pom pom poutine, which is like made out of
Tater tots.
tater tots.
Okay.
And then they have
So
the
good.
spicy pom pom
Yeah.
poutine, and the tater tots are just like they have like a spicy coating on them. So, and then on top of it, then they have the poutine that has the fucking cheese curds, deep fried cheese curds on it. So I always ask them if they can like mix the two together.
Oh yeah.
Give me the spicy tater tots and the deep fried cheese curds on it. And they do it sometimes for me. Usually it's himself that does it for me. But
Right.
anyway, so I was like, yeah, can we do this? He's like, yeah. So he goes, but he's like, we don't have the spicy tater tots anymore. And he's like, believe me, man. He's like, I love them. He's like, I bought a box whenever they like went out of fucking style or
Stock,
whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, I bought a box. He's like, I had them forever. But he's like, no, we don't have them. I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, Yeah, whatever, that's fine. He goes, okay, here's the thing though, man. He goes, with the fucking gravy and everything on it, like by the time it gets to your house with the tater tots, they're like mushy and shit. So he's like, are you cool if I like put everything separate and then you can just like build it when
Mix
it gets there?
Yeah.
That's the best way.
And I was like, yo, I'm like, that's so sick. So he gave me a little thing. It was like the poutine kit and it had all
Oh,
the stuff
yeah.
in it. But then I fucking, well, while we were on the phone, he's like, yeah, fucking, he's like, I want to come through. I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, I said, whenever I get off the phone, I'm like, I'll send you dates and shit. So fucking, I had eaten the food and stuff and I had noticed this. There was like kind of like some orange like dust on the tater tots.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, you put some kind of like spice or something
Yeah,
on it, right?
yeah.
So anyways, whenever he got to answering my text message or whatever, he's like, yo, he's like, I hope you don't mind. He's like, I just went ahead and threw like, he's like, I have some like Frank's Red Hot like powder shit
Oh yeah.
seasoning. He's like, I went ahead and threw that on
It's hilarious.
No
because you
way.
wanted the like the spicy ones or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's so sick, man. But like I said, he just like totally fucking took care of me. Like he's like, because you know, like picture like a kid, right? Like no, like I want the spicy
Yeah,
ones or
yeah.
whatever, right? Like look, they're the spicy ones, you know? Like look, here they are. Shit, I was like, that's so sick.
Well, he definitely knows you're a man of your food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck. That's another thing too. Whenever we're out west, people were like, man, like you do it right, eh? Like, oh, can I get this? And like, with this and like this and like, like modify everything all fucked up.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
man.
shit,
that's
you
the way
do
to
it, right? Forget who said it, but someone said like, you make it look fun or something. You make eating look fun.
Hell yeah.
Eating is fun.
Oh, for
Life
sure.
is what you make it, man. Yeah, I love eating too, though. Like, can't get enough of food.
Which reminds me, by the way, the BC vlogs coming soon.
Oh yeah.
I've actually had one of them ready for a bit now.
Yeah, you
But-
put out a promo, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to get everyone to get our fucking Instagram to 1,000 followers, and then I'll release it.
Oh, okay,
Um,
so go follow
like
on our
that
Instagram
idea.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. If you're
Follow
not
our
following-
Instagram, and then
4G
I'll
Audio
release it.
Podcast at 4G Audio Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah, and that'll be for the first one, and that's coming. And then at the same time, to look at this weekend, I haven't told anybody about it, I guess, really, but we have a little vlog I did from Flacco's CD release dinner party thing.
Hell yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, I mean, probably shouldn't tell you this. It's not like crazy interesting. Don't expect like
Oh shit, I was already being like,
some fucking craziness, but it's just, we all hung out and smoked some weed and had some dinner, and I put a song over it.
hell yeah. Yeah, that's what it is, man. It's
Shit.
behind the scenes
But yeah,
action.
so check out that. It's coming this weekend. I'm gonna drop it. I might even just drop it in the morning or whatever. But check out that, and then yeah, if you guys can get us to 1,000 followers on Instagram, we will release the first, and that's the first of many.
And it can't be
Of
that
the
many,
vlog.
right? What are we at, 9 something
For what?
followers?
Yeah.
Oh
we
yeah,
are,
we're at like 940 or something.
Okay,
I
so
think.
it's like we're almost there.
Wait, I might have lied, but
I think we're over 50, maybe.
are we? Yeah,
I think
I mean, it'd be
it
easy to just
fluctuates, but
looking it up right now.
I'm doing it. 924.
24. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So a little more than that. A little more than 50.
76 to go.
76.
We got this. Bitch.
For sure, man. It's worth it to see those too. Like,
I like this shirt.
thanks, man.
You know what it reminds me of? I like this one better, but it reminds me of Danny Duncan has a shirt, and it has it's like him.
Is it Santa? What is it?
It's
Yeah,
Santa
it's
riding a
Santa
skateboard,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
and it's him fucking like running or something. But he's like he's like Ronald McDonald from the head down or the neck down,
Okay.
and then like the head is like his cartoon head or whatever.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me of the same thing.
Fucking right. Yeah, I saw it and I was like, that's so like just like casual, you know,
Yeah.
casually put there. I was like, yeah, I like it. I like the color too. That's like mainly why I got it.
Yeah, I miss my fucking burgundy pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I might be wearing them in that picture of me and you that I posted recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
You
like in
both
the
look so
garage
young
at
in that
with the
picture.
garage at Sienna.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, for
That's
sure.
crazy. And it's funny because it was like 4 years ago, I think.
That would be like
Well, I looked at,
5.
but I looked at the
5
thing.
or
It was
I think we moved in like 2000,
November
2000.
2017.
That was?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say 16 or
Oh no,
15.
wait, it would have been, so maybe that's just whenever I got the file.
Yeah.
Because now that I think about it, there was a certain someone that I was hanging out with
Yeah.
whenever you lived at the Carling spot,
Yeah.
and that would have been 2016. So
Yeah.
you would have already moved from
Yeah,
Sienna
exactly.
then. So yeah, it must just be the date that I got it or something.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, man, that's
Oh
been
shit! Then that doesn't work because fucking there's a picture of fucking. I put two pictures. I put I put my picture and Snack's picture.
Yeah.
There's a picture of Snack where it's like
right.
him in 2017, and it was like November 2017,
Right.
and he's like, and his like eyes are kind of like they're like a little bit open, and they're kind of like rolling in his head. But he's like with a bunch of people, like like squad picture,
Mhm.
and but clearly like he's on tour, and clearly he's like all fucked up, and then I was looking at that picture and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I kind of got the same. Like my eyes are just
Yeah,
open
you're
a
like
little bit, but you
yeah.
can see them kind of like rolling a bit.
Rolling back.
But I'm different because I was actually like making a face to like look dumb
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, or like look a certain way. But
Yeah, no one was
he
that
was just
fucked
like
up that night.
fucked up. But I put the two pictures beside each other because they were kind of making like a similar face.
Mhm.
And I thought, oh, it's cool. It's like right. It was like the same time of like history.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
clearly it wasn't.
Yeah, that was definitely. It's been some time now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah, it's been some time now. Cause yeah, I lived in that apartment on Carling for like 4 or 5 years almost,
Hmm.
and Sienna was like a year. So,
Okay, yeah.
and I moved just last year. So yeah.
Seeing and buying properties. Oh, gang, love gang, baby. It's
Yeah,
Goon in
Goon.
the building.
You
Fucking
guys
right.
are gonna have to hit me for one.
I was chilling with him earlier, and oh, look at that! Meow, 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 meow. I like it because I could.
googly eyes on it.
See, yeah. Oh man, what an idea! Meow, 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 mew, meow. A little antenna. Fucking unicorn.
Definitely buying some googly eyes for that.
Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, I might even have some googly eyes in my old car
Oh, you should.
randomly.
You should. Definitely. Yeah. What a coincidence.
Yeah. No, I was at somebody's house and they had googly eyes, and like it was a big sticker of a snake, like a cobra or something. It was like one of those ones that someone had put in like their back window or something. And I was like, man, can I have this? And I was like, holy shit, man. I'm like, the 90s called. They want their fucking back window decal back. Like, I was like, shit. I'm like, I want this. And then I never ended up using it, but I thought it was going to be the coolest thing. So I took that and the googly eyes. The googly eyes were for this occasion,
Apparently.
just in case I needed
Yeah.
them. Shit. You know what I thought of too, man, is last weekend, Sam
Radfordson?
Radfordson.
Just Radford. Red Radfordson.
Yeah. He told a story about mushrooms, and then he had brought up you telling a story about mushrooms.
Right.
And then he went ahead and started talking again, I think. And then I probably did. And then it never happened. But it's funny because I thought about that and I was like, I'm like, we never let him tell a story. And I was like,
I
fuck.
told the story. though.
Well, yeah. And I was like, and I remember you saying, you're like, oh, I told it like a couple weeks ago. And I was like, man, like, what the fuck story was it? Like, oh, man, I want to ask him now. Like, even just like off camera, like, whatever. Like, what was it? What I remember now is the one where you fucking got chopped off. You thought it was the wrong place and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
And it all started from like the weekend before, like the fire extinguisher. And, yeah. And then me just like feeling like I'm going to get my ass kicked. Bad tripping on mushrooms.
Oh, shit.
Not a
Oh.
great time.
Got beer?
As a matter of fact, I don't.
This is a belt buckle.
It's broken now, though.
It's broken, huh?
Like the actual belt buckle part doesn't work as a belt buckle anymore.
Why?
Because I'm pretty sure, like,
It's got the thingamajig.
yeah, I thought, anyways, maybe I'm wrong. I
Well,
thought
you
it
hook the
was-
belt on here, and this just goes into the hole.
Yeah.
So we're giving this away. It's more of a raffle, if you know what I mean. So I noticed the fucking Justin Bieber, Tim Biebs merch is going crazy.
It's so funny. Eh? Like,
Man, for the toque, people are selling them online on StockX for like $200. I saw all three of them going for $500. I saw one of them was like $2,500.
What?
But I don't think anyone's like paying
No
that.
one's gonna pay that for
Um,
sure. And if you do, you have far more
It's
money than
hypebeast.
brain cells.
It's hypebeast stuff
I know,
though.
man, but like,
It's like
who
the shoe
cares?
game. You can't get it anywhere. Once it's gone, it's gone. So, anyways, I went
I
out.
guess that's what
I
it
went
is.
out and bought 3 of them.
because like I'm sure there's fucking
What are you
like
talking
Bieber
about?
fans
the
like
Bieber shit.
in
Oh yeah.
merch.
Europe somewhere where there's
Tim
no Tim
Biebs.
Hortons that they.
That's
can't
it,
get this
man.
shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and on top of it, like, yeah, like, fucking, not only can they not just go to Tim Hortons and get it, but at some point, like, it's gonna run out, and then
Yeah.
like they can't even. Because, like, say right now, like, if somebody I knew lived in UK was like, hey, like, I want that, I'd be like, yeah, man, I'll get it for you. Just give me the amount of money that it's worth, and I'll get it for you. You know, like, I don't need to make any money off of it. So I mean, what I'm saying is, I'm sure that some of these people have people that they could just be like, hey, can you just go get me one?
Right.
But once they're not selling them anymore, they're all gone. They can't just get them to go get them one. And it's
No.
not going to be $110 anymore. It's going to be whatever.
So what you're saying?
Whatever
is
you're
we should
willing
all
to
go get
pay.
ourselves some fucking Tim Biebs.
Yeah,
Not
I went
bad
out the
idea,
other
man.
morning and got every like one. There's 3 pieces. I got the tote bag, the
Yeah.
toque, and the fanny pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a
Let me know if you
video.
ever sell those for anything more than what?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It will one day, no doubt.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
For sure. I saw.
I was gonna go get another one too, but
Yeah.
like another set. But
Right.
I don't know.
Leave for the children, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hand it down to the.
Did you
generation.
try the Timbits themselves?
yeah.
Yeah. What did you think?
I actually did a fucking video where I ate them, but I didn't. Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah.
They're all right. They were just like,
did a Tim Biebs review?
yeah. It wasn't even like a review. I was just like, yeah, this is this one. I just like took a bite. I'm like, I'm not reviewing them. Like, pretty good. And then I just like put the rest of the Timbit aside. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is this one. And I like took a bite, like threw it aside. Pretty good.
Yeah. I was even
Alright.
thinking like that wouldn't be a bad thing to do. Like all that celebrity, like our question. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
the Cactus Jack meal, the hottie sauce. Like bring it right in here and try it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When it's new or whatever.
They're charging $40 for 10 Tim Biebs.
No.
Yep.
$40.
Yep.
Is it?
No. Sorry, they're not charging. People are selling them online
Oh,
for that
right.
much. The box,
Yeah.
$120.
Crazy, eh?
Like,
Yeah.
Just the
And
box.
that's already.
No one's buying the shit though, right?
Oh, people are definitely gonna buy it because
So
people would
ridiculous.
probably buy it because they're thinking what he's saying. You know what I mean? The other people just want to make a buck right now. They
'Cause,
know they
like-
could sell it for like 100 and some
Well, on
bucks.
StockX, you can see what they sell for too.
Yeah. And there's collectors out there that like live for that shit.
Like I said,
you
it's
know?
what do you call it? Hype beast
Right.
stuff.
That's what you call this, or is that's a
That's-
person, right?
No,
Hype
hype beast is like,
just like-
someone
That's what you
just
call
like,
this.
I guess they'd be like trendy or whatever. I don't know. Like all the stuff
They
that has
buy
hype, like they'd have
yeah,
like
they-
Supreme, they'd have
yeah,
all the
right.
sneakers and like all that shit. You know,
They
like,
buy into all the
Yeah.
trending shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can assume that most of the stuff they're wearing is limited edition.
From Showcase at Bayshore.
okay.
It's the store that sells everything you see on TV that's for sale.
As seen on TV.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff I see on TV that I want, but
Go to Showcase, man. Check it out.
there's probably things on there that are in there that I forgot.
Oh,
About-
yeah. For sure.
Fuck
I
yeah.
was doing Christmas shopping. I was in there and I was like, no way, this is an actual story, you know?
You got the shake weight.
Yeah. It might. I didn't look around that hard, but
Yeah, chance.
all the young kids are into Squishies, so that's what I went there for.
Squishies?
Yeah, they're like
Oh
these-
yeah. Sorry, I was thinking like the Simpsons Quickie Mart squishies.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like these little like stuffed animals that have two different emotions, you know what I mean? You can
Oh,
like
yeah,
flip them
yeah.
inside out. Apparently kids are just like going nuts for them. The chick there was like
It's the parents
pulling
going
them
nuts for
out, pulling them out by the bag. Like everyone that walked in there grabbed a squishy and then just looked for other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Never even heard of these
Squishy.
things.
Yeah.
No,
fuck.
me neither, man.
have to
But they were
try
going,
this.
and she just opened a bag, so I bought one. Yeah,
Right on.
So I bought one.
for my little girl, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. They,
Damn right I did, though. Yeah.
oh shit! Imagine they just have like people that like come by and like grab them, and like a lady just like dumps a bag out every half an hour.
Yeah.
And, like,
There is, man. That's
yeah, just so everyone's like like buys them, you know, like
Yeah.
holy shit, like there's some kind of hype over here. I want one too.
Yeah.
They just turn around and throw them back in the bin
Mhm.
and wait for the next guy. Shit, but see, that'd be it too, right? Like the hype, right?
Marketing.
Yeah.
Like,
101,
oh, there's hype over here. Like, what's
Yeah.
happening?
Well, man, this
I want
Okay,
one.
I'll buy. Yeah,
this
I'll take one
lady
hype.
walked up and straight up asked. This girl was just like, I guess that's what she was doing, and she was like, there was only like 10 people allowed in there, so that's what she was doing. She'd tell you to like wait and when you could go in. And this other customer comes up to her and she's like, "What's the most popular one?" She asked her. Yeah, trying to get like the most popular one for a kid, right? Yeah. What's the most popular one here?
It has to be the best.
Yeah.
My darling.
Yeah.
Squishies.
That's what they're called. Yeah.
Squishies.
It'd be like this, like one face that's happy and then the other one's sad, and different colors and shit. You know what I mean? But they're not like a stuffed animal, but they're not like full. That's why they're squishy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The heads of them like squish down, and that's why they're easy to like. Yeah, it's a sensory
As-
thing, you know.
as
Kids,
seen on
like
TV.
children, are all about sensory things,
This is true.
As seen on TV.
as seen on TV. Exactly. Yeah.
Squishies. So I wasn't sure. Should I tell the story first,
Definitely.
or should I tell the story after?
No, tell the
I guess
story
tell the
first,
story first.
and then we'll show the.
Okay.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. So earlier, whenever I got the news that our guest was not coming, I was with Goon, and I guess he had seen something. I don't really remember posting it, but I guess I had posted a little clip of a video that we had done many years ago.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And he asked me about it, and I was like, "Oh yeah." So then I showed him the video, and I had gotten the information about the guest not coming tonight, and I thought, as I was telling the story, and it took me 20 minutes to tell the story to Goon, I thought, hey, that'll be some good content, because we haven't actually released this video. I don't think we've ever showed it.
No.
I was actually waiting for Jim. Yes, Jim. You.
Yeah.
I wanted to get some shots on the bus because it's called Crazy Bus, and I wanted to get some shots on the bus to show how crazy the bus can be. And then there's a part where I say his name, so I wanted to have him in the video, and so I was being really picky or whatever. But so now I'm like, fuck it. It's been a couple years, but I'm like, I'm just gonna release it, whatever. And like I said, what better opportunity than now?
Oh yeah, man.
So anyway, so the song called Crazy Bus, and
We
did you
filmed
make
it.
the beat for it? I think it's a Jonesy beat, maybe.
I don't even remember.
I
Yeah.
forget,
Could
but
be.
I do believe
um,
it's
and I wrote
a Jones
and
beat.
performed it, and
We filmed it. Where was that location?
So we filmed
it was
it.
like
It's like right on Elgin,
by
Yeah.
the Lord Elgin and all that.
and so Crazy Bus. I have to tell you this though.
Yeah.
Crazy Bus is a game that you play on the bus, and it's crazy. So you go and you go. So we go outside and we go to the nearest bus station, right, or bus stop, and whoever's turn it is, we decide whose turn is first, and you go to the whatever bus stop you want, right? So you go outside and there'll be one that goes one way and one that goes the other way. So then you pick which way you want to go, and then you find out which buses are going and where they're going, and then you pick one, and you roll the one die, and whatever the number is, so you get on the bus, So say you roll a 4. You get on the bus of your choice, the person whose turn it is. You get on the bus, and you have to pick a stop to stop at, but it has to be 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Within
Can't be any more
right.
because you rolled a 4, right?
All right.
So like you can pick 1, 2, or 3, or if you don't pick anything, you just have to get out at number 4 or
Right,
whatever, right?
Right.
So when you get out, the person whose turn it is, they pick what you get to do, right? So there's like is there a bar nearby? You go over to the bar and like have a drink or whatever, or is there like a park nearby, or there's just like a bench on the street somewhere, and you go, and the person will pick whatever. Like, oh, we'll just go to the bench real quick, right?
Yeah.
I also forgot to mention too, you're supposed to bring a Mickey of your choice and smokables.
Right.
So when you stop wherever you're going and the person says, okay, we're going to the park, or we're going to the bench, or we're going to this bar, at some point in that stop, you have to smoke and drink. And
Of course. Yeah.
yeah, and so even if you just take a puff or whatever, right? So you have to smoke and drink, and then now, like, once you've done that, that person's turn's over, and then it's like the next person's turn, right?
Right.
And then like you can like form an alliance with somebody and like be like, let's try and like maneuver it this
End
way,
up
right?
here,
Because like
right.
at the same time too, say you get off on like this side of the road, and then like you go to this bar or this park or whatever, then the next person can pick to go to the other side of the road and go back the same way that you just came from, right?
Right.
But maybe take a different bus that goes a different direction. So now I can be like, hey Bisha, like let's try and get to this spot, right? So it's like, okay, well, everyone's taking us this way, like fucking at the next turn, right? Like go
Yeah,
back the other way, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's fun, right? You get hammered, but we didn't realize that you're not supposed to get drunk before you get on the bus. So we had gotten a 26er of like this nice scotch. I think it was like $100, and buddy had like a decanter thing, and we put it in there, and he was like, yeah, like we'll have this nice like crystal cups and stuff and like all this for like whenever time you come over and stuff. I'm like, yeah, cool. And we drank it all, and then we got on the fucking bus and played this game. So I don't really remember like a lot.
Yeah.
And so we ended up, we were all basically convincing each other like where to go. So we were all basically trying to go to the strip club in the end.
Yeah.
So
So
why don't you just go there? You just like make this whole game about like.
well, but it was the
It's all-
adventure.
it's
But
all
it was the
mystery,
adventure.
yeah.
Where it's either we sit at home and drink until fucking 11:30 or 12, and then go to the strip club, and just like Uber there or whatever, or
Do you have to like use a
We
transfer
go on
ticket too?
this.
Because like, wouldn't this game get expensive if you're jumping on and off of buses and shit? Is that what you're
well, you'd have to get a transfer for sure.
Yeah, but I thought you could only use it like. Can you just use it like a bunch of?
Oh yeah,
times?
for a set of for a
Like,
certain time, like for
time.
2 hours or whatever. Yeah. But because it'll just be like a time on it, right? And now it's all digital. But
And you're not sitting on the bus for like an hour going all the way across.
No,
yeah, it's true too. Yeah,
Like
it's the
4 stops
stop
could be
or
like
two,
literally,
yeah.
like down the street, right?
Yeah.
yeah. So then now. So now, sorry, I was reading the comments. So
Yeah.
now we get to Rito Street or Rito Mall, and I'm pretty sure I finished my bottle on the way through the mall, and because I woke up in the morning, I had an empty bottle inside my jacket, and
Definitely,
yeah, and so then we go to the strip club. We go to Fairfax. We get there. I remember going in, and I remember they went and sat at the table. And I'm trying to remember to tell the details of parts that happen in the song.
Yeah.
So then I guess all night I kept saying like, oh, I'm gonna write a song about this. I'm gonna write a song about this. But like it wasn't about the whole event. It was about like this thing that happened here and this thing that happened here. But then the next morning I realized they told me that, but then I like kind of put it together. I was like, I should just make it all into one thing. But so then I go to the strip club, and they sit down at the table, like they're like waiting for a waitress to come like serve them and shit,
Yeah.
which they do, but usually it works better if you just go and get your drink. So I go up to the bar, I'm like, okay, I want 2 ounces of scotch, and I think it was a gin and tonic or something, and it was 2 cups anyways. And so I go back and I sit at the table, and I fucking drink it all back, and I fucking flip the cups upside down, and I just like got up and left the bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my mind, I was leaving. Like I was like, I'm out of here.
Came there to do what you did.
But everyone's like, oh, where are you going? And I guess I turned around. I don't remember this, but I guess I turned around and said, oh, I'm going for a smoke. And so I went and got my coat and went out for a smoke. But in my mind, I totally was like, I'm leaving. I'm not coming back. Like,
Yeah.
I'm leaving this club for some reason. And so I went outside, and I remember seeing this like little like I could just see his head. It was like the curly hair going through the crowd and stuff, and he's like talking to everybody and shit. And a lot of these things that I'm telling you, I don't remember until the next day, and people are putting these ideas in my head, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Or like I look at my phone, I'm like, who's this fucking guy he said to check him out on Facebook. So I look and I
Yeah.
see the picture. I'm like, yo, I talked to that guy last night. That's right. He's like a producer and shit. So it ended up being Bromar. And
yeah, that's right.
so now I'm outside, and there was a whole bunch of people, but then like kind of like filters out, like some people going and leaving and stuff, you know. And so I'm standing there, and like I said, I'm not going back into the bar. I'm done. Like I'll be out here, you know. And I don't know why, and I have no clue. Like I was that drunk. So anyways, this fucking girl comes up to me. I'm talking to this girl, and she's from, I forget where, but it's somewhere in the prairies. And remember these details because it comes out in the song. But so she was like, oh, do you want to go to the bar next door or whatever? And I was like, cool, yeah. Like, so I'm thinking like, you know, oh, like let's go somewhere quiet and like drink and talk about stuff. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. And she's like, okay, I just gotta get my jacket. Come with me. And she like runs up into Fairfax and goes and gets her jacket. And like I said, I don't remember these things. I'm putting it all together like the next day, and I'm like, oh yeah, oh shit. And I start to realize, or like, you know, I realize that this girl is probably a stripper.
Should make this into like a Hangover movie.
Yeah.
And for real though, yeah. And yeah, I got to go back and put all the pieces together.
Directed by Borough Media.
So, so yeah, I'm like, yeah. So like I said, at the time, I don't think of anything. It's the next day I realize, shit, like I think she's a stripper, because we go to this club and she gets her jacket, and I'm standing like off to the side, and I remember looking, and the bouncers are all kind of like looking at me weird. And so me and her go to the next bar next door, and we go up, and I'm like, yeah, I'll have one of these. And I'm like, whatever she's having, she's like, I'll have one of these. And I fucking reach in my pocket. The guy's like, it's $14.50. And I reach in my pocket and I pull out fucking $15. That's all I had in my pocket.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, where did my money go? Like, this chick fucking like take my
Take
money.
it,
I'm
yeah,
like, what
yeah.
the fuck? And so then I paid for the drinks. I had enough, but it was like a 50-cent tip. So I'm like, oh fuck, like sorry, man. So then I remember we went and like danced, I think. And then like the next thing I really remember is like, well, I guess like waking up, but all the next part I'm about to tell you is either something that someone told me happened, or it's something that they reminded me happened, you know, like I thought I realized the next day. So my buddy's girlfriend, they're looking for me. They're like, where the fuck is he? Like they were gonna eat and leave and shit, right? And like, where is he? And they see me stumble out of this bar with these like 3 dudes, and I'm telling them a story. She's like, it looked like you guys were like best friends. Like you guys knew each other or whatever, right? And so I walked out and I stumbled out. I'm telling them the story or whatever. And I guess they like watched me for a little while, and they're like, hey, like we gotta fucking
Help this guy out.
go and get him, you know? So yeah,
Yeah.
they like come over and like get me. And I guess I turned around and was like, no, like I'm just waiting for my girlfriend. She's in this bar or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, she's right there. She's just inside the door. And the chick looks, she's like, there's no one in there. And I was like, yeah, she's right there. She's like, there's people in there, but like, there's no girl like right at the door. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, she's
yeah.
right there. Like, whatever. So then like, now they have to convince me that I don't have a girlfriend and to get me to like leave. And I remember standing in this fucking, I think it's called Sasha's or whatever. It's like a chip stand thing in the alley between the 2 bars.
Yeah.
And actually shout out Misha, because Misha told us to go do a poutine review there, but they're only
Right.
open like late at night. And so anyways, yeah, I remember being there and everyone was eating, and I was like, no, I'm not eating. And then we were trying to get an Uber or something, but like shit was all fucked up, and so we just jumped in like a cab that was out there, and they're like, yeah, like where are you going? And like, oh, we're going to fucking beep beep beep, like said address,
Yeah.
and I was like, no. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, we're going there, but we're stopping there. I'm like, but then we got to go to my girlfriend's house. I'm like, we're stopping at that address so we can get our guns, and we're gonna go fucking kill my girlfriend, and because she robbed me, right?
Yeah.
And so then that's pretty much the end of the story. I guess we went back to the house and we hung out for a bit, and then I woke up the next day and they're telling me all these stories. And like I said, I remember certain things. I remember too, actually, sorry, on the way home, I remember we drove by a certain street and I looked down and there was a roadblock down there. Or there was a bunch of cops anyways. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, guys, we got to go back there. And they're like, why? I'm like, there's a roadblock. And they're like, what? I was like, oh, there's cops back there. I was like, I got drugs that I think they want to see. Or I got a drugs I want to show them or something like that. I was like, shit. I'm like, I said that. They're like, yeah, man. But yeah, so anyway, so I had this whole thing, and then so the other thing is they said to me that while we were at the strip club, two girls came up to me, and like I don't know if they were like sitting on my lap or just sitting with me or whatever, but they were hanging out with me for a bit, and then they offered me to like a 2-for-1 lap dance.
Oh yeah.
And I guess I said no. Imagine me saying no.
When you're as drunk as how you sound, I mean.
Yeah, and then I guess I just got up and left, and then they had turned around and asked my buddy if he wanted the 2-for-1.
You're still looking for your girlfriend too, so.
Yeah, and then so like I said, I feel like this chick like ripped me off, and then the other thing too is later. I actually told this to Goon earlier, but I forgot this one part was that later, like whenever I was like writing the song and stuff, I was like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, I can't find that Mighty Ducks hat. I'm like, where the fuck's my Mighty Ducks hat? I'm like, yo, I'm like, I haven't seen it since that night. I'm like, yo, I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I was convinced that she had taken my my hat.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is
your money.
yeah, and the other thing about the money too, that's the last thing I'm gonna say before we play the video is when they said to me the next day that I told them that this chick stole money from me, I was like, no one stole money from me. Like, I was like, that didn't happen. And they're like, yeah, like you were telling us. My buddy goes, man, he's like, I'm pretty good at telling when you're joking and shit. And he's like, I was not convinced that this girl took money from you. He's like, but you fucking convinced me. He's like, by the time we got home, I was like, holy shit, Styles got robbed. And like, he's like, man, he's like, usually I know when you're fucking with me. He's like, and I was convinced you're fucking with me. He's like, but then like, you were like, no, that it happened, man.
Yeah,
I was like,
did you not get robbed?
no, I didn't. Because even like I said, they said that to me. And I'm like, it didn't happen. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I was like, well, fucking like, I remember that situation where I pulled the money. I was like, oh, fuck, where'd it go? But I did all the math and I'm like, okay, the math works out. It was just me fucked up.
This is what I spent.
So you're just a dick and gave 50-cent tip at the end of the night.
But that's all I had though. That's all I had. No. Yeah. But because I remember I left his house and I took out a certain amount of money so that I wasn't like that wasted walking around with like a couple $100 or whatever, you know? So I just took out, I think it was like $85 or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a lot, but anyways, but it was like, yeah, I took a certain amount and I knew that I had that much. So I was able to like recalculate it all, and I was like, "Oh, no one robbed me, like whatever." But
it just went really quick, and I was drunk.
So this is
it's a good thing you didn't get robbed.
Yeah. So this is Crazy Bus by yours truly, and if you listen to the lyrics, you will maybe pick up some of the details from the story I just told you.
Oh yeah. Shot and edited by
Jonesy.
Here we all are and we're in the pretty city. Lights all around and tonight we're getting silly. Jump on a bus or maybe take a cab. Don't come along if you're gonna be drab. Tonight's the night cause we're all in the mood. No contest, I hope you brought your booze. Fresh to death cause I'm wearing my trues. Stay in them shits cause we're acting like fools. Here to party hard, who cares where we going with the flowing like the wind's blowing. Strip club, corner store, making stops, taking shots, body shots, order more, sipping scotch, calling shots, then I'm out the door. Going to see my homies that I never knew I had. Introduced by the chick that I knew I never had. Gave it out of 10, but she wasn't that bad. We're on the crazy bus and we're gonna kill my girlfriend. Freak in the sheets, but we're gonna kill my girlfriend. Guns at the pad is what I told the cat.
It's outside of her house.
Down the street while we go and kill my girlfriend. While we go and kill my girlfriend. Wait down the street while we go and kill my girlfriend. Guns at the pad is what I told the cab. Wait down the street, we go and kill my girlfriend.
That's the elevator I got stuck in.
That's right. I remember that.
Offer me a 2-for-1.
Listen on my 2-for-1. Imagine me saying no on my way to get my coke. Saying go for a smoke.
Lick it dope, lick it dope. On my way to get my coke. Say I'm going for a smoke. Lick it
this
dope,
shot.
lick it dope.
Imagine me saying no. All I do is lick a dope. That's the way I cope.
Catch me outside, how about that? I'll be in the smoking section taking a nap. Found my girl, she was wearing my hat. Fuck that bitch, had enough of crap. Bought the drink, but I felt like a trap. I'm not a spring chicken that's about to hatch. I've done a lot of thinking and it's time to react. Every time I turn around, where the fuck is she at? We're on the crazy bus and we're gonna kill my girlfriend. Freak in the sheets, but we're gonna kill my girlfriend. Guns at the pad is what I told the cab. Wait down the street while we go and kill my girlfriend. While we go and kill my girlfriend. Wait down the street while we go and kill my girlfriend. Guns at the pad is what I told the cab. Wait down the street while we go and kill my girlfriend. Found me outside, I was having a snack. Homie looked puzzled, but he had to ask,
Where have you been and where the fuck is your hat?
girlfriend, where the fuck is she at? Okay. So that night, they said in order to get me home, they had to convince me that I didn't have a girlfriend. Safe from the prairies, where to find you?
Oh, it's the best.
Taking all my money,
Something higher than green.
Jimbo said to kill her cause she wouldn't let me fill her. He was only joking, but he planted a seed. Gotta get to bed cause tomorrow's another day. Hail down a cab and we're on our way. Tell them where we're headed
With a stop at the base.
But they all think I'm joking with the look on my face. We're on the crazy bus and we're gonna kill my girlfriend. Freak in the sheets, but we're gonna kill my girlfriend. Guns at the pad is what I told the cab. Wait down the street while we go and kill my girlfriend. While we go and kill my girlfriend. Wait down the street while we
go and kill my girlfriend.
Guns at the pad is what I told the cab. Wait down the street while we go and kill my girlfriend.
Yeah. Hey, showed Styles Prophet.
Fuck, there's a couple things there. I can't remember them now.
Oh, it's on repeat.
Here we all are in a pretty city. Like
There's a couple things there that I can't remember now. One of them was, I guess, the start of the song. I say, I hope you brought your booze
Mm-hmm.
because you got to bring Mickey with you
Yeah.
on the tour. There was something else in there that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to say that. Oh, I said, going to see the homies that I never knew I had, introduced by the chick that I knew I never had.
So that's right.
And so yeah, so then it references how
Those guys.
so yeah, so I was hanging out with those guys, telling them the story like we were best friends. So it was like going to see the homies that I
Never knew I had.
never knew I had. Yeah, that's it.
Introduced by the girlfriend.
That I knew I never had. Yeah. So then it's like, yeah. So then like looking back on the memory of it the next day or whatever, anytime, look back and I'm like, if you watched it as a movie, it's like, yeah, he's like, oh, it's like, oh, and he went to see the friends that he never knew he had, like, you know, and it's like, oh, introduced by this chick that he definitely knew wasn't supposed to be in this story. Shit. But what was the other thing too? I was gonna say too was
That does sound like a crazy complicated game to play though.
well, but it's easy once you do it. Like it's easy once you get it like happening. Cause like I mean, really, you need like a ringleader to like do it, but it's pretty easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cause it's like
I'll take your word for it.
you just have to like do it. I want to actually do it though. We should get some people to
Play the
volunteer and like we'll play the game.
game. Yeah.
There was a fucking story though that I was gonna say. That I said. What did I say during the what we were watching it? I
we
said
were
something.
watching
I was
it?
like, "Yo, that's the fucking." No.
I don't know. You're
I'd have to
referring
watch it over again. No, I said something. I
Although-
made a point to be quiet the whole time, but then there was one part where I was like, oh, and I made a big
Was it about one of the locations that
maybe, but I was like,
shooting
oh, I want to tell the story about that, and I forget now. Oh,
was
well.
it like when you're in between the
No,
no?
it was something
At
totally
the-
unrelated.
Oh, at the Zesty. Oh, was
Yeah, no, it was unrelated,
Oh,
but it was
okay,
it just
okay.
made me think of something else.
I remember shooting out front of that. What was it? The Zesty man.
Zesty, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you see the girl in the shot or whatever. remember? And she's
ready,
like,
ready for my close.
"Yeah, I'm ready for my
Oh!
my close up." Yeah,
The elevator.
the elevator.
So I don't know if I'm pretty sure I probably told the story on here before, but the elevator, I got stuck in the elevator. So that fucking night, we went and filmed this and shit. We partied in the hotel, but the next day, so my brothers were there, right?
Right.
And
Your old
We-
man was
Yeah, I
there.
was gonna say your dad was there too.
Yeah, your old
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's right. That was the night I think I met Tyler.
and then we went to leave. We went to leave the next morning, and fuck, man.
Just kidding, yeah.
Okay, so we went to leave the next morning, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys go ahead to the car and shit, and I'll go and get a fucking like I'll go and check out and stuff, right?"
Yeah, right.
So I went, and this is how I know I was in there exactly an hour, because they gave me my receipt. I asked for a receipt, but they gave me the receipt, and I was walking to the elevator, and I looked, and the receipt was it was to show that they had given me back the money that they took for the deposit.
Right.
It wasn't for the actual room. And so I was like, oh, wait, what's that? Hey, I'm like, yo, can I get the actual receipt for the room? They're like, yeah. They printed it off, and I took like 4 steps to get onto the elevator. So it was like, that moment. So I get on the elevator, and it was already open. Someone had just gotten off or something.
So you're going up.
And I was going down
You're
to
going
the
down.
parking lot.
Okay.
And so I go in, and I have a bad habit, especially when I'm like doing shit, like I'm like texting someone or something. I'll get on an elevator, and then I'll stand there and just be like texting.
Oh yeah. So the doors.
And then I'm
closed.
like,
I did
is
you
it
wanna hear
moving?
Yeah.
Yeah, is
yeah.
it moving? And I'm like, oh. So yeah, I was like, oh, classic styles. Yeah, oh, fuck, whatever. So then I hit the button, and it lit up. And then I wait. I'm like, it's not moving. And then I like look down, and the light was gone off. I'm like, what? Then I hit it again, and it lights up. And it shuts off. I'm like, huh, weird. I'm like, well, I'll just open the doors, and then I'll just try the other one or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I hit the button to open the doors. I'm like, huh, weird. Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
And now I don't know if it moved at all. So did it move a bit? Am I halfway between this shit, or am I right at the fucking lobby?
Yeah. Right.
But then I can hear them like talking and shit too. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I'm like, hey, I guess like I'll call them or whatever.
Yeah.
Usually I remember doing it as kids just to be dinks or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, I really need it this time. So I hit the button. I'm like, hey, yeah. I'm like, I'm stuck in the elevator. He's like, oh, really? Like, yeah. He's like, okay, well,
This
he's
is
like,
Buddy's job, eh?
yeah. He's like, well, he's like, yeah. He's like, the maintenance guy will be there soon or whatever, right? So I'm thinking he means like the hotel maintenance guy.
Yeah.
That's
of
probably in
course.
the
That's
same
what you'd
building that
think,
I'm
yeah.
in.
And you'd be like,
And-
oh, right on.
And he would
5
have,
minutes.
he would have some way to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, cool. So I sit there for 20 minutes, and I'm like, huh. And the other thing too is I'm thinking like, I don't want to sit on the floor of the elevator, because if it falls down, I'm just gonna fall 2 stories onto my ass,
Right.
And like, so I'm like, I don't want that. So then I'm like standing in there, like kind of crouched, sort of,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
even thinking like, hey, maybe I'll try and jump before I get to the bottom and shit like that.
Yeah,
They say
right.
apparently that works.
So
Yeah.
it's like I think it's even a myth. Like most elevator systems,
They go up.
Well, they have like a brake like it's rare
Yeah.
that like the brake system would fail. So if it actually falls,
Well,
it's
my
never
buddy,
gonna, like actually hit the ground. It's always gonna.
my
like,
buddy's
slow itself down.
fucking like that's what he does, and I told him the story. He fucking laughed. He goes, man. He goes, worst case scenario. He's like, you're gonna go up,
Yeah.
and he's like, but you'll just like
yeah.
go
It's
up.
like a counterweight on the other
Yeah,
It makes
yeah. He's
sense,
like,
though,
but I'm like, my thing is, I'm like, but what if the thing that makes it go up
is what.
breaks?
Yeah.
You know, like what the fuck? But either way, so I'm sitting there thinking like I'm like I can't sit down, like whatever. So I'm like sitting like standing like this, like waiting for it. Like as soon as it
Racing,
moves, I'm
yeah.
gonna fucking count 2 seconds and jump or something,
Yeah.
you know? And I ended up fucking. So I text my brothers. I'm like, yeah, like this is what's going on, whatever. And then I called him after 20 minutes. I'm like, yo, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And he's like, oh yeah, no. He's like, fucking, like, yeah, buddy's coming. Don't worry. Like, I'm like, where the fuck is this guy coming from? Like, what
Yeah.
if it's like a guy I know that lives in fucking Renfrew and we're like downtown Ottawa and he's gonna be a fucking hour plus to get here?
Yeah,
I'm like, what
yeah.
the fuck? So I sit there for another 20 minutes. In that 20 minutes, though, I called a buddy of mine, and I'm like, fuck this stupid shit, fuck this, whatever,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
I'm like yelling and screaming and cursing and stuff like that in the elevator. And that's an important detail for later. And so then I have that conversation. I think I called my brother too, and I had a yelling conversation with him too. Like I was just yelling.
You just had to talk to someone.
And
but,
that's it. Like, yeah, exactly. Keep my mind off it and
Yeah.
shit. So now, like I said, now we're into the like 40-minute mark. I'm like, hey, calling them again. So I called them like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, okay, yeah. Like I just talked to the maintenance guy. He said he just got on the highway.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
yo, this guy's not even here, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy isn't even in the fucking building. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
And the highway.
Oh
where?
shit! And then I'm like, what? I'm like, hit the highway where? I'm like, yo, what if this is the guy that I know, and he just hit the I've been in here for 40 minutes,
Yeah.
and he just hit the highway. It's gonna be a fucking hour, and on
Yeah.
top of it, it was a long weekend. I'm pretty sure, so it was
Oh,
a Monday
yeah.
long weekend
So
holiday.
traffic and shit.
So I'm like, yo, fuck, like, what in the fuck, man? So anyways, I wait, and I'm like, man, when I fucking get out of here, I am fucking running around this hotel fucking smashing shit. Like, not really, but it was just like, I'm gonna come out of here like the Tasmanian devil and be like, what the fuck, you
Yeah.
fucking piece of shit, you know, like, whatever.
Did you even
But-
try like yelling and like banging on and like seeing if someone on the other side could like?
It
Please
could.
open the
But
door,
the guy I'm talking to is on the other side of the door. He's the guy at the front
Yeah,
desk.
he was the dude.
And I'm
yeah.
like,
I see.
yeah, and I'm like from here to the fucking black fucking background right there from the front desk.
So there's nothing that he could have done from out there to like.
I
try to
guess
open
not,
the
like,
fucking elevator
If
door.
there is, they should fucking really tell him what it is.
Yeah,
but-
for sure.
So anyway, so now I'm like I said, so now we're 40 minutes. The guy says, okay, yeah, he says he's just got on the highway. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, thanks. I get off the phone. I'm like, wait, what in the fuck? Oh my god. So like I said, I'm sitting there going, oh, I'm gonna come out of here and flip right the fuck out. But within the last couple of minutes, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, when I get out of here, I'm like, I'm gonna hit them with something funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna flip out, whatever. I'm like, you know, I might stress that like that wasn't cool, but they're expecting some guy to come out here mad, right?
For
I'm like,
sure.
so I'm gonna hit them with something funny. So all of a sudden I hear like this guy talking, he's getting close to the door and stuff, and like, yeah, cool, whatever. And he puts this, I hear like a bag drop with like a bunch of tools in it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, cool.
This
And he's
is
just
it.
like 2 seconds, boom, the door opens, and I was just like, the fucking man of the hour. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god. I'm like, thank you. And I walked out and I walked around the lobby a couple times, just like
yeah.
walking. I'm like, oh okay, yeah, whatever. They're like, here's our manager's card. Like she wants you to call her or whatever. She's gonna help you out here or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. So
I bet.
and
that's
then I
not
looked-
sorry,
no, and then I looked and I was like, oh, it's been exactly a fucking hour.
an hour. Yeah. That's probably not a irregular reaction. You know what I mean? Like to someone being stuck in
I
an
wouldn't wanna be
elevator
stuck
like
in an
that.
elevator for an hour. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
and-
No,
Did they say
Anywhere
at all,
like that.
What, like, why it happened?
What?
no.
They're just like, oh,
And it was right there too. It wasn't like between floors.
No,
It was
and that's like the next part is, so then I go and I'm like, I think I took the fucking stairs maybe, but either way, I go downstairs and my brothers are fucking in the car, but they're like, we're all hungover and shit, so they're like passed out. Well, they had
Right.
like left the key on in the car and we're listening to music and charging their phones and shit. So
the
then I get
batteries-
in, I'm like, hey guys, what's up? Yeah. Doesn't start.
No
And I'm like, no fucking way. So now I'm like, whatever, you guys stay here. It's my fault. So I'm like, I go upstairs, I call CAA, I'm outside. All them, they're like, yeah, no, it's gonna be 40 minutes or so. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. They're like, oh, 1 sec, put you on hold. I'm like, okay, yeah. Comes back, he goes, yeah, I was just talking to my supervisor. He says it's gonna be more like 90 minutes because it's a
Ooh.
long weekend and shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
crazy.
So now I'm sitting, because I can't go to the basement because I won't have service. So now I'm sitting in the front lobby where the maintenance man and the elevator maintenance guy are fucking around with the elevator. And so I'm sitting like as far across the fucking lobby away from the elevator as you can. Like, not like because I'm scared of it. No, but
That's
just to
just where
give
the
you an
seat was,
idea of
yeah.
like proximity. So they're over there fucking around and I'm sitting there. And the one guy goes, he's like, yo, he's like, you can't get enough of this place, eh? He's like, fucking, he's like, I figured you'd be gone by now. I'm like, man, I'm like, the fucking battery's dead in our car. He's like, no way, yeah. So he goes and they're talking. He's like, oh, he's like, call fucking so and so. He's like, oh, so they got another maintenance dude to come help me. He had like a power pack thing. But anyways, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for that guy to come, and I hear like these people talking, just like normal like inside voice talking, and I'm like, where the fuck are these people talking from? I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck's going on? It's weird. And then all of a sudden their voices got a little bit louder, and then these two guys step off the elevator, and I'm like, oh my
The
god.
one you were in?
Yeah, and I'm like, I could hear them just talking normally on the elevator, and the elevator was coming down,
Oh, right.
and I could hear them across the fucking lobby, and I'm in there on the phone. Fuck this
Yeah,
fucking piece of
yeah.
shit, whatever. Like, imagine them checking somebody in, and like they're like, fuck, because like literally, man, it's like 8 feet,
What's
like
up
right
with
there. Like,
that guy.
what's going
yeah.
on in there? Like, oh yeah.
Not only are you doing that, but then they got to find out.
You go, oh,
You're
yeah,
stuck
exactly.
on
Yeah,
there.
oh yeah,
Don't
there's a
just
guy
take the
stuck in there. Yeah,
stairs.
actually, you know
Yeah.
what? We're going to the fucking hotel next door.
Yeah. That's hilarious. But they hooked you up, eh, for another stay?
Kind of. I went there another time. I think she upgraded me for 2 nights for free.
Right.
So I ended up getting like, yeah, I guess whatever. That was all right.
a similar
I think I
room.
got like something like, it would have been the value of like $150 or something.
Right.
And then I went another time, and I didn't talk to her. I talked to like another dude, because I would just call her up and be like, hey, it's the guy who got stuck in the elevator. Anyways, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
And so I fucking called and I talked to this guy. I'm like, yo, it's coming. Nina, I think was her name.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, is Nina there? And he's like, no, she's gone for a bit. I'm covering for her and stuff. Like, okay. So I'm like, I'm the guy that got stuck in the elevator. And so then I went on to tell him, like, you know, she'll give me deals and stuff. So I'm just trying to like make sure I book some shit, whatever. And it was New Year's, I think, 2 nights around New Year's. And it was like, I think I got like $40 off each night or something like that.
Right.
So like still like, yeah, I got like something from them, but I just expected them to be like, oh, like come have a fucking week at the fucking penthouse
Yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Yeah. No doubt.
oh no.
That's Crazy Bus, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Shooting that one too. That was
Yeah, that was a fun night, man, for sure. Went to a few different locations down Elgin.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. I'm
Yeah.
also wearing an extra large t-shirt there.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Does she always wear an extra large?
no.
Huh?
We're 2X talls. That's extra large, no tall.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys can't see it. We're looking at the thing. But that's actually that t-shirt too. So that t-shirt I got when I was about 15 years old,
What?
I think. And I got it you got like a set with like, it was like 3 sets of drumsticks, a t-shirt, some stickers, like a keychain, a bunch of shit, but it was all like famous Stars and Straps and like Zildjian and OCDC or whatever it's
Mhm.
called, or Orange County Drum Percussion, OCDP. But it was a Travis Barker thing, right? So it was all like Travis Barker sticks and like Travis Barker merch and stuff. And I didn't fit in the shirt, so I never wore it. And then when me and my son's mother broke up, I lost a bunch of weight, and I fucking was able to wear those shirts.
That's the shirt right there.
Yeah, I even had another one from whenever I was 15 too. It was a orange shirt. I can't find it now, but it was an orange shirt that I won from Zoo York.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I won like
Sick.
a first prize thing where I won like a bunch of shit. actually have a skateboard deck. A couple years
What was
ago.
the competition.
You just had to like write in
Just
or
enter
something. Like,
shit.
yeah, you had to answer questions, but it was like
Right.
easy shit. Like
Yeah, yeah.
name people on our team and stuff. And yeah, I ended up winning first. I think my little brother won like second or something too. Like, so we both ended
Oh,
up winning.
yeah,
But
that's
first got this fucking skateboard deck, and it was like a thank you letter to all the people that helped with 9/11.
Oh yeah.
And so like when in the picture on it is like it's all like one scene or whatever. Like it's like the parking lot and then like some buildings. You can kind of see like half of it's sky and half of it's the ground. And there's a car parked here and there's like a big puddle. And like up here you can see there's like an outline of the towers with like smoke, I think, or something. And then down here in the puddle there's like the actual reflection of the towers.
Right.
And then it says like thanks to NYPD and EMS and like all this shit. But a couple years ago I looked it up to see how much it was worth, and I saw this guy was trying to sell his, and he said that he did a lot of research. He saw one of them sold for $1,000. They were selling them for $199 whenever they sold them. There was a limited run of them, and they were $199 for the deck. And then, yeah, like I said, it's only gone up since then. So I don't know.
So
You
get
know.
your Tim Biebs merch now.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. That's exactly
Man, see,
it.
but I was thinking about getting one of the like a set of the Tim Biebs shit for like I'll keep it for a couple months or whatever and see how everything goes with like selling it
Yeah.
and like see if it goes up anymore or whatever, because they're still not sold out yet, right? But the other thing is I was thinking about buying another one and keep that one for like 10 years.
Oh, for
And then
sure.
turn around and be like, oh, fucking, like,
Yeah.
Bieber dies or something. It's like, oh, yeah, I got that fucking thing.
Man,
and they're like,
yeah.
what?
Don't say that shit, man. Remember how you're like not like fucking.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
just
yeah.
cursed him.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Sorry, Justin.
But maybe I did the
Right.
opposite.
You exactly. You brought it up though, so it's been acknowledged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's been put out there, so yeah.
But
like,
see, with Norm Macdonald, I didn't say it out loud, and it happened
right.
because we were watching a bunch of Norm Macdonald stuff before he passed away, and I was like, "Yo, imagine."
Yeah, it was all like personal.
oh, don't
shit,
say
you know?
that.
Now we've like really talked about it, so yeah.
Gonna make mad pissed.
Make mad piss. Should we
Yeah,
wrap this
well,
up then? Anyways, it's
Yeah, I
almost
was
been
gonna
like an
say,
hour
what
and
do
a
you
half
guys
then.
think?
Oh, okay, yeah, fuck yeah,
Going on hour and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Almost.
may as well.
Fucking
Maisel?
right.
Fucking
Crazy bus, man. That was a sick time.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you guys have anything you want to say to anybody?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shit, man. Yeah. Well,
To all-
be on the
all-
lookout for a holiday episode, actually. And fucking love everyone tuning in. And yo, I appreciate you too.
Fucking right. We appreciate you too,
Gang,
man.
gang.
It's,
Appreciate you guys.
It was weird not having you here last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. It was weird not being here.
And
But
that's what I think it was. Remember, I said I left, and I was like, oh, I felt like that one went weird,
yeah, yeah.
and I think that's all it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jamie's like, no, it didn't, man. He's like, you guys were talking and stuff. And I was like, all that bugged me, I think, though, was that we talked about a bunch of shit before the show. Fucking, I went upstairs, took a piss, and I remember standing there going, shit, what did we just talk about? And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck did we just
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about?
yeah.
And then whenever I came back and sat down, so I was like, oh, awesome. When we go down and we'll try and do like a recap and then like start, you know? I came back and sat down and I was just like, all right, cool, let's start. And then now we're like in the episode and I'm like,
Thrown in, yeah.
oh shit, like now I'm trying to like
Think
go
of-
with the episode but also try and think of these things in
Yeah.
the back of my mind. I'm like, fuck it. So then at the end I was like, oh shit, I didn't do that, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I think that was part of my like thing, but
It's all good.
I think it went well. It was
Yeah,
a good
for sure.
conversation, but I just like, shit, I didn't get those points or get those things.
He'll be back next, like, or well,
Yeah, it's true.
That's
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we got
Always,
we just cracked the fucking shell there or
yeah.
broke the ice or whatever. Okay, well, any motherfucking way. Gang gang baby. You already know what it is.
Yeah,
Happy Friday. Have a good weekend. All the fancy shit. Try to think of more stuff. I'm Styles the Prophet.
Yeah, I'm B Show.
and I'm Jonesy.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Together we're the Basement Weirdos. This is the 4G Audio Podcast. Go check out the fucking Styles the Prophet video Crazy Bus, which will be out now.
Hell yeah.